Simmons Production. Alright, what's good with it, people? It's your boy Simmons.
It's your boy Dang.
And it's Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
Bang, 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 bang.
You already know what it is. It's been a minute. Life is happening. Pandemic, school,
fires,
kids. It's going crazy right now in California.
Yeah.
With all these damn fires from northern to southern. Like
we had a fire tornado up north.
That shit. He sent me. I didn't even know about it. He sent me the video clip. I was like, nigga, looking like something off of like a movie. Like,
yeah.
It looks like, I don't know, and right now over here, like in Southern California, particularly in the IE, like there's been a lot of like ash particles floating around. You walk outside, your car got
going
ash
on 2
particles.
weeks now.
And you smell it in the air. The air is all smoggy.
Like the sky looks like it's clouds. Yeah, smoke.
It's not looking good over here. Luckily, we're in safe areas.
Yeah.
Prayers to all the families that either lost their homes or are in danger, had to evacuate. I pray that everyone is safe, taken care of, and they're able to regroup and, get back into the groove of life,
Yeah.
And we still out here dealing with the corona shit. Like, it's people acting like the shit don't exist.
It exists.
I got numerous family members that caught it.
Yeah.
My stepfather, mother caught it. My grandfather had it, but he's asymptomatic, so it didn't really hit him. He had to go to the hospital nonetheless for something else. But a couple other people, like, it's out here definitely is hitting people.
It is, man. It is, and the scary thing is that the longer that it takes to for us to get a vaccine, to get rid of, the coronavirus or get control of it, which is a better word, the more dangerous it get because people gonna try to get back to their lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I had went to a bachelor's weekend for my boy who got married, and the whole time I was there, I was like, it's for my boy, but I'm like,
shit,
it's a gang of niggas in here. You know what I mean?
Like, you trying to look like...
Yeah, like I'm trying to social distance as much as I can, but, the whole thing was like a frat house. Mm. It was like
niggas
just going up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so when I got back, I was like, okay, this is day 5. No fever.
No.
This is day 10. No fever. Okay, it's day 14. I don't have no issues, no nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just that people get antsy within themselves, and the longer that this prolongs, the longer that we end up people gonna get back to doing them. Because I've been I hoop, so I've been getting invites to go hoop and go do things and all that stuff, and I'm like, as bad as I want to, I done gained weight. I'm dropping the weight, but I could drop it faster if I was back playing basketball.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And in the back of my head, I'm like, shit, if I just get out there maybe 2-3 times a week and hoop, I'll be back. I'll be back to hoop.
Snap back.
Yeah, real fast. But the truth of the matter is right now it's not safe to do so. You know what I mean? And like I said, President Trump is on tape, admitting that he knew from the get-go how bad this was.
Yeah.
And he basically is the person who created this storm that has engulfed our our economy, jobs, health. People have died because people have listened. Herman Cain listened to him, was a champion for him, and the stuff he was talking about. Herman Cain passed away because he didn't wear a mask and all of this stuff. So y'all just take into consideration what's really going on, and that this is serious times.
Yeah, don't play with it. I see you niggas still out there passing the blunts around and shit, sharing blunts. We see you niggas, like, fam. What are you doing? Like, you understand? Pass, like that's like, what are y'all doing? Like, niggas are so broke they can't go get their own. You know what I'm saying? Like, roll up your own shit.
It's their culture. That's their culture.
I understand it.
Share.
I understand, but nigga, like, hell no, you ain't drinking after me, smoking after me,
none of that. None of that. Especially not right now, man. But you people still going.
Go. You better get the hookah pieces.
Put it on the end of the butt.
Get the hookah pieces, put it on the end. Say your hookah pieces, nigga.
Yeah, man, you dumb as shit, man.
Well, there's been a lot going on. Shit, aside from like the obvious corona shit, people still trying to like maintain and hold on. It was something I was about to say and I forgot what I was gonna say. But aside from that, like we're still trying to figure out what they're gonna do with the stimulus bill and how they're gonna help the economy.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I always tell people, America is a business before a country.
Yeah.
Because have you seen how China shut everything down and got everything back, on the up and up? Like America, they want to halfway close shit, and then like
they want to still make their money.
Make their money, like we lose a little bit too much money. We can't stay down there too long.
And the crazy part is that the government has enough money locked up where that they actually could pay us to stay home.
Nigga, you see how they came out? They pulled it out the ass.
Yeah, we was broke. All of a sudden, they busted out $1 trillion. Come on now, you already know that they got money on top of money. They literally could pay everybody to stay home, to be able to live, go to the grocery store, so that you can curb the to lessen the curve and all of that. But they're so capitalistic and money hungry that they're like, I don't want to give you nothing. I need you to work for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But right now we're in different times, something that we have never seen before. You 100%. Know what I mean? And it should be about lives and protecting lives, but that we're seeing that it's not that. Like I'm into investing in the stock market and all that, and I'm looking at the stock market I made a couple weeks ago I made $1,000 in a day, right? The next day I lost 600, right? Mm-hmm. And then Donald Trump gets out there and he's like, the stock market is doing great and this, that, and the third, right? But I'm such a realistic individual that I understand that not everybody invests in the stock market, right? So just because I made $1,000 last week doesn't mean that everybody in the world and everybody in the country made $1,000. Not everybody invests in the stock market. These people are still out of work. These people are still not getting money. These people still are being hit by unemployment. These people are still waiting for Congress to come back with some type of stimulus agreement to help them to pay their rent. You understand what I'm saying? There's people who are behind on their rent. They can't be evicted until December.
People literally getting kicked out of their places.
Yes.
Literally, like I was watching the video the other day. Isn't that church?
The old lady.
Yeah, old lady. Like they felt bad, so they called I forget what government.
I don't know the agency.
Yeah, there's some agency to help her. They gave her one more day to stay in there, but they just kicked the people out.
Yeah, it was like a heat wave too. Whenever
that's why they didn't kick her out, because it was a heat wave and she had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's crazy times, like in more ways than one. You got people out on the act. You got Tory Lane shooting people in the feet.
Yeah.
Like
he said he was drunk. He said he was drunk, and it's crazy because I peeped the comment that you made. This is a wild dude right here, right?
What'd I say?
Almost every week, I feel like I'm telling him to log off either Instagram or Facebook or turn your whole phone off. This man said, "Do you know how good your aim has to be with a gun to shoot somebody in both their feet and you drunk?" Come on, man.
I'm just saying.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying, I'm like, it's not funny, but I'm like, he a real shooter.
Listen.
He a real shooter. I give him that much credit, but aside from that, like, he can't be shooting women, bro.
Credit. Listen. I'll put it to you like this, man. Tory Lanez, I believe, I'm a real believer in karma. I believe you're a believer in karma as well. Yeah. I believe that you could store a bad karma in let's say this invisible cloud. Mm-hmm. Tory Lanez has been doing that since he got into the game. He's been beefing with any and everybody. There's videos of him guy having a beef with a rapper that nobody even knows who the rapper is. They put on the glove. He's out there. He think he got hands.
Wasn't that Famous Dex?
It might have been. I don't know.
I think it was Famous Dex. Like
he put the gloves on with him, and he thinking like he got hands. But I'm looking at the video. He's swinging all wild. Neither one of them got hands like that. But his energy is always aggressive.
Yeah.
His energy is always beefing and having issues with somebody and doing something, and or just a bunch of negative energy. And then this happens. Boom. You really just threw your whole career away. There's no way to bounce back from this.
The way I look at it, he got the little man complex.
Yeah. 5'2", 120 pounds, he itty bitty.
He like, bro, I haven't weighed that much since high school.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I didn't weigh that much in high school. The least I weighed in high school was 135.
I probably was around there in my freshman year.
Yeah.
Senior year, I was like 150.
Yeah.
So I'm like, to weigh 120, like you a full grown adult, like bro, like I understand why you packing a gun, but you shouldn't be unleashing that on a woman.
No, woman.
Like not on a woman. Yeah. So it's just like I feel like he probably been like messed with a lot of his life.
Yeah.
And I remember watching an interview. He put something along those lines out there, like some people would mess with him, whatever. So it made him tough, whatever, have thick skin, whatever.
Well, he was itty bitty, with a receding hairline. Yeah. So niggas was coming for him. Females probably was on him something crazy. That's why he loving the attention he get from women now, because he more than likely probably wasn't getting nothing back then.
Supposedly him and Meg Thee Stallion was seeing each other. Mm-hmm. How he got blessed with that, I have no idea.
The industry, baby, it's the industry position.
I mean,
position.
True, like, whatever the case is. Yeah. So late night, there was that. Who was that? Kylie Jenner. Mm-hmm. There was a party going on, whatever. Something happened where, from what's allegedly told, Kylie was giving him too much attention. I'm not sure if that caused some tension between him and Meg on the way when they dipped off, whatever. Maybe some words was exchanged. I don't know. I just want to make that clear that we don't know what actually happened.
Yeah.
But all we know is that he said he was drunk. It shouldn't have ever went that far. And by the looks of it, he shot her in the foot, both feet.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, I don't know how he did that, but like, bro, like, we never condone violence against women.
Right. We
definitely don't condone gun violence. Like that's just some goofy shit, bro. Like if you really feel that bothered by somebody, just remove yourself from the situation.
100.
Remove yourself from the situation. Let them go their way. You go your way. Done deal.
Yeah.
Like it would have been even cool if you just kept it verbal. I would rather you had kept it verbal.
Yeah.
If you would have threw some bitches, even though we don't condone that, like talking to women crazy like that. But I would had rather you do that than pull off the gun.
Yeah.
So it's just like in many ways it's crazy, and then like what threw me for a loop is that when Meg, she was keeping, was kind of like weird. Like I was confused on what was going on, and then when she finally spoke up about it, people wanted to call her a snitch. I'm like how does that work? I'm like, what part of the street code are y'all talking about? Because I'm familiar with that.
I'll put it to you like this, man. Because I got homeboys who still I low key still live by the street code just because it's principle, and I feel like it's structure.
I do too.
And it's structure for your life. You know, sometimes it's placed in the wrong direction. Yeah. But a lot of times we apply the street code to the wrong people and the wrong situations. You know what I'm saying? So we might get out there and be like, oh, this nigga snitching, or he dry telling, this, that, and third, but he a square. Yeah. He ain't never been around. He don't know nothing about the things that we know and all of that stuff. So you can't apply that to everybody. You can't apply that to Meg.
Yeah.
I believe that, Meg even tried to play the code for a while.
Yeah, she tried to play the code.
While she wasn't saying anything.
Because she knew what could have happened. Like, if she would have told him the night of,
he
shot me.
That's bad. That would have been bad business for him. He'd still be locked up.
Yeah. And she was trying to look out for him.
Yeah.
But supposedly, like, he was sending his publicist or somebody to, like, radio stations to say, play victim or some shit.
Play victim, try to make her out to be the bad guy. So she's like, listen, I tried to save you. So now I gotta say what I gotta say.
Yeah.
I don't look at that. I don't look at that as snitching. Because the truth of the matter is, neither one of them are. It's not detrimental to neither one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The story coming out and him allegedly doing what he did, and then him going black,
Mm-hmm.
nobody hearing for him, whatever. That was damning itself for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't listen. That's a woman. If she ain't really in the street, like you said, you gotta understand this is the industry.
Mm-hmm.
That don't, just because she rapping and she doing her thing, this and that, third, that don't make her a street person.
Exactly.
That don't mean that she come from that culture. That doesn't mean that she really about that life.
Exactly.
So, you know, and I don't think that Tory is from that, because if Tory was really from that, and I think this is part of the reason why Tory Lanez identifies so much with 6ix9ine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that he's not really from that, and he's just one of those people that now, because I'm in position, I got money, I got bodyguards, I got people around me, and the benefit of knowing me is in their interest.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can act rah-rah. Because I know a whole bunch of people who really ain't no gang bangers, but they can get on in the rap business, and if they making good money, gang bangers are co-signing them like, yeah, he a real one. Because it's a benefit to it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying the reason why I don't think he's a real one is just because of how he moves. Like, real ones ain't gonna put themselves in position to shoot no woman in the foot. They gonna get drunk. Listen, like,
that don't even like. Listen to that sentence.
That's what I'm saying.
Shooting a woman in the foot.
In the foot.
Like,
and you drunk, this and that, third. That don't make no sense. Like, think about it. Most of us, and this is I'm not even breaking guy code, I'm just giving y'all a glimpse into our world.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us get drunk, get into it with the female that we messing with, and it'll be a wild situation, but we know we're going back to tell the homies this wild ass story, and we're gonna laugh about it. Like, hey, you know, I got caught up, man. I was over there with Kylie, man was on me, woo, woo. None of us is so high strung and trying to be gangster that was like, yeah, bro, you remember the little chick I was messing with, bro? I had to shoot her in both her feet because she was tripping.
That's why.
What?
That's why some old school pimp shit.
Yeah.
And the bitch didn't have my money, so I had to pull the strap down and, you know what I'm saying?
The 22, shoot her in both feet.
She tried to play with fuzzy slippers with fuzzy slippers, so play that. Got it in both of her feet.
Nah, nigga, that's you sound.
Nah.
You look.
I don't mean to be making jokes, but
no, you look and you sound stupid. You look and you sound stupid.
That's the goofiest shit ever. It's like, it just don't make sense. No matter like how you cut it, ignore the sirens if you hear them.
Yeah.
But it don't make sense. And more like, this is how I look at it. Number one, this is where you apply snitching.
Yeah.
If me and Dame go and want to hit a lick somewhere, rob a convenience store, or
we hit a bank,
B&E bank, whatever the case may be. If I get caught, he gets away, and I'm like, well, Dame was with me. Or Dad's like, who was with you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Dame was with me, and I point him out. That's snitch.
Yeah.
So, like, if you in a situation with Meg Thee Stallion and Tory, Meg being a full-blown woman, she's not gangbanging, she's not in the streets like that, she's just out here chasing her bag.
Yeah.
We get into it, or she, you know, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They get into it, and Tory unleashes on, like, she's a victim. From the street code that I was raised up on, women, kids, and old folks is off limits. Yeah. And women, it can get tricky because some women that be in the streets and
if she in the streets, she full game.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you in the streets, you full game. But kids and random women and old folks off limits. Yeah, like that's just a no. And so it's like the code that they living out here. I don't know between him and 6ix9ine. Like y'all living different. Y'all need to sit down somewhere. It's like if you gotta do all the antics and if you gotta be overly dramatic and shit like that, you probably don't need to be in the entertainment business. No. Because you're gonna get this type of life. Yeah. So it's like, it's been instances where there's been domestic violence amongst celebrities and shit before. We never heard something like this.
This.
I don't know if he's gonna bounce back from this.
Yeah, like, I think this, like I said, I think in people's eyes, this may be worse than Chris Brown.
I try to avoid saying that. I try to keep his name out of
it. No, like I'm not holding nothing against Chris Brown. I feel like, you know, he went through what he went through. Maybe he learned his lesson. That was a toxic relationship. Like, you know, hindsight's 2020. The information came out. Even Rihanna said that, you know, I had a hand. This is what we did.
Yeah.
I had a hand in this, or we would hit each other, this, that, and the third. It just got out of control that night. So that is a toxic relationship.
100%.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not sitting here looking at. I'm giving Chris Brown the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's just this dude that's like, oh, you burnt the toast, and he just whooping people's ass.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Calm down.
I believe that this was just a toxic relationship. There's millions of people in the United States of America.
All of us had
who've
toxic
been
relationships.
in toxic relationships and stuff where you have to understand. I've dated women where I know that this woman knew how to push my button so much that you could feel that anger rising, right? And I knew I had to end this relationship because if I don't end this relationship, I'm gonna end up being done beat you up. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand that you can be put in a bad situation based off the toxicness of the relationship. So that's why I'm saying I'm not 100% going to just be like, oh, Chris Brown, throw him to the wolves, because if you go to court and you see these domestic situations, a lot of times they're living in fucked up situations with their partner.
100%.
But when it comes to Tory Lanez, bro, you shot her.
That shit had not even been an option. Like, that's never an option. Like, I heard different stories of people just boom bopping it, just going at it and shit like that. But your thought to reach for the gun, like that tells me that you're not all there.
No,
you might be a threat to society.
What that shows me is that you are trying to live up to that character that you've created so much that you feel like you gotta shoot. I tell people all the time, a bad action starts with a seed of thought.
Yeah.
Right? So if Tory's so caught up in really trying to live his raps and I'm trying to really be that nigga and I really shoot a nigga and this, that, and the third, that seed is in his head already. So he got into it with Meg, and maybe because Meg, she big, she intimidated. Meg a little bit taller than us. Tory is itty bitty, you know what I mean? So maybe he just, he was intimidated because of her size or whatever. He shot her in both feet, but I can't condone that. I can't condone that. I can't accept that. Your apology, talk about you was drunk.
We gotta let you go.
Alcohol don't mean nothing, man. A drunk mind think sober thoughts anyway. So
Yeah, we gotta. I always try to give people a chance to, before canceling them.
Yeah.
Because cancel culture just got out of hand.
Yeah.
Seek help.
Yeah.
Be real with yourself. Seek the help that you need. If you got anger management issues, go get that under control.
Yeah.
Seek the help that you need.
Yeah.
Give people the chance to correct their actions and redeem themselves to society.
Yeah.
So that's all I can really say about that.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, just go get the help that you need if you need help.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah, no, I mean, and speaking of getting the help that you need, right?
Lift this up slightly.
Yeah. Speaking of getting the help that you need, black men, you gotta leave the thoughts alone.
Wow.
Leave the thoughts alone.
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna say it one more time. Leave the thoughts alone.
Preach, Pastor. Preach.
Odell Beckham Jr. And we all really like to even get into the gossip and all of this stuff. But this video came out of a female talking about that he asking her to shit on him.
Man.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it all the way. Listen, I'm gonna keep it all the way. What's that white boy say? G real with
Keep it all the way G real.
Because today I got time, cuz.
Today I got time, cuz.
Listen, if you gonna be a freak, be a freak with your woman. Be a freak with your wife. Stop being a nasty ass with random ass females, especially these females getting passed around the industry. Your business is getting put in the streets. You looking crazy, and sometimes, and to tell you the truth, this may not even be real. The information may not even be real. But because you're dealing with these dirty broads, people are going to take that into consideration that you're dealing with this individual, so you gotta be doing the things that she's saying that you're doing. Stop dealing with these dirty thoughts.
At some point, you gotta, y'all gotta get smart. Like, bro, number one, I'm not no doctor at all, but I'm kind of positive Corona can't get passed through feces.
Yeah,
I'm like, I wouldn't doubt it. Like, I wouldn't doubt it. Like, so, like, number one, look, I gotta put my drink down because y'all niggas is, I don't know what the fuck I do. Number one, y'all keep on passing around the same 6 girls.
Yes.
And then you wonder when your business get in the street.
Yes.
Why is it in the street?
Yes.
Because nigga, you was messing with the fucking thought.
Yes.
She's about her money.
Yes.
So you paying her to come out here, she getting a free trip out of it. Not even her, because this was all on album 2022.
Yeah.
No Jumper. I guess he got some spinoff with the chicks or whatever.
Yeah.
But the chick was saying like, yeah, I believe she said he wanted her to not take a shower or some shit prior.
Yeah, I didn't want to even get into all of that, but it
gets weird. Like,
it get deep, yeah.
Because when I was watching, I'm like why? Like, I understand doing freaky shit. Like, I don't eat ass, but if you into that, you do that. If you like sucking toes, you do that. If you like playing with toys and shit, like, you do that. But boo boo, my nigga, boo boo, doo doo. On your chest, my nigga? Dookie? You want to let somebody dookie on your chest, my nigga?
That's crazy.
Like, nigga, like...
That's crazy.
I'm not letting, like... That's worse than R. Kelly peeing on people.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's the point. That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, listen, brother. We have to do better. Like, when you even...
Go drink some milk.
When you look at these females...
Go drink some milk.
When you look at these females look like... Play-Doh creations. Man. They got these big fake lips, fake asses.
They ain't worth it, bro.
They're not even worth it. And you sit there and you're saying you are a millionaire. There are a million average, normal women that you can get at. Man. You understand what I'm saying? Or is it so much that you just like the thottiness of what a thought will do that you rather deal with these broads who's being passed around in the industry? Understand, like he said, they're about their money. They getting flown out, they getting paid. The bigger the celebrity you are, they know the bigger attention they'll get by telling that they messed with you. Mm-hmm. So you should know that your business is going to get put in the street. Mm-hmm. I don't know why these dudes continue to deal with these thoughts, man. Listen, go get you a solid female and have fun. Have fun. But these thoughts, they for everybody. And your business is for everybody.
It's for everybody. You in that industry where people want to gossip and talk.
Yeah.
And look,
hold dirt over your head and all of that.
Look, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I've been out here in these streets in my younger days. I've seen the top of the top. I've seen the low of the low. I try to stay away from the low. It's just not for me. Mm-hmm. I know people that live down there. I'm cool as far as messing with the low grade females. But as far as dealing with the top, and I ain't even been famous, bro, like there's some, like he said, there's some average females that know how to mind it, do what they do, mind their business and get on. Like, if you like the thrill of just floating around and just doing your shit, so be it. But be mindful, like, stay away from them females that want to seek attention and shit like that. To give you an ultimate cheat code, I don't advise this at all. I don't advise this. Let me put that out there right now. Mess with somebody that got something to lose. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. You'll be safe that way.
Yeah, 100%. If you guys are on the equal playing field and that information getting out of what you're doing could damage you both, that's the person you want to be with.
You know what I'm saying?
Those people gonna take that shit to the grave.
They're gonna take that to the grave, and that's just gonna be it.
Yeah, so. But moving forward off of that, that topic. Did you see the Chiefs game?
Nah, I didn't see it.
Okay, I didn't watch the Chiefs game. I just seen the clip of them. So everybody's anticipating what protests people are going to do. Um, because the NBA did what they did with the Black Lives Matter t-shirts and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the NFL came out, the Chiefs and I believe the Houston Texans played the other night, and they linked arms in unison with a moment of silence.
Mm-hmm.
The fans still booed them, right? And what it shows you is that it never was about the flag.
Mm.
It's more so about just keeping racism and everything as status quo.
Yeah.
Because before you said, protesting the flag was the wrong way, you're disrespecting the troops. Taking the knee is disrespectful, this, that, and the third. So they do neither.
Mm-hmm.
And you still vote.
Yeah.
So it shows that the truth of the matter is you want it to stay status quo. You want racism to stay there, police brutality, inequality, black people stay in their place, shut up and dribble, shut up and throw the ball, type of deal, right? So with that understanding and being understood, with all the protests and everything that's going on, how do we move forward after the protest? Because black people, we can't protest forever. There has to be an action plan after that. So where do you think we go after this?
For me, how I see it is that there's a lot of protesting, rioting, and looting going on. I'm not, as far as protesting, I'm for it. The rioting and looting, I'm not against it and I'm not for it, but I understand it. I'm in the middle. It's kind of necessary. I understand it's low-key necessary for all the extra activities to happen because it incites change. It forces the hand of the government to make actions like, yo, these people is fed up. If we don't do something now, it can spin off into complete anarchy.
Yeah.
So it's forcing them to make a move before everything gets like to a point where they can't reel it back in. So how I see it is, our number one problem from the get-go is ownership. We need to get ownership, get some real estate out here, own businesses and all that stuff. Not be no partners and all that shit. Like It's not, I won't even say like not be no partners, but we need some equity in some shit. You know what I'm saying? Number two, we really need to understand our identity, form our own identity in America, because as people that were born in America, black people born in America, we don't necessarily have real attachment to Africa, even though we know that's the motherland and arguably the place of all human beings, the origin.
Yeah.
So we understand that. So it comes down to ownership and seeking our own identity, even putting that with a flag, so we really can have something to look at too. So it's like when you look at all the other ethnicities that's in America, the Irish, the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Japanese, the Chinese, like they have a flag they can look to and stand in solidarity with. We don't have that. All we have is the American flag, and like, don't get me wrong, America is a beautiful, lovely place.
Right.
But when it continues to show us that we're not welcome, it's hard to accept that flag wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
The way that we would like to, So we really need to form our own identity and form our own banks. We really need to get involved with the black-owned banks that are out here already and create black-owned banks. I said this probably a few weeks back on Facebook. When you look at these black churches, and I'm not attacking churches or nothing at all, but as much money black folks put into these churches, like black folks like to pray and then put in their tithes and walk away, like hoping like it's just going to magically change. Some people understand faith without action is dead, but some people, they will actually pray, put their money in tithes, and think shit's going to magically change. It don't work that way.
No, it's an action.
It's an action. We have to be more strategic than that. So imagine like if all these churches was an actual bank of the community that it's in, as it was meant to be a storehouse, as the Bible says. And we're able to go there and put our money in there and withdraw, whatever the case. Because a lot of times we put our money in these banks, and understand when you put your money in these banks, you're giving them money to do whatever work or investments or whatever the case it may be that they're gonna do with your money. Your money don't stay there. So if that bank shuts down or whatever, and you have your money in that bank, you lose your money.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
You have to act. That's why a lot of people they preach to make your money work for you.
Yes.
Don't store it in the bank. Go put in some stocks or whatever the case may be. Like, make your money work for you.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of financial education that needs to be installed in the black community as well, moving forward.
Yeah.
So ownership in equity, identity. What's the third thing I said? Niggas have been drinking.
Yeah, just go ahead.
But I don't know what the third thing I said, so don't judge me. But as far as investing your money and understand financial literacy.
Yeah, listen. Everything that you said in a blanket is group economics.
100%.
Group economics is important for the black community for the sole purpose is that we are one of the biggest spenders in the United States of America, right? And collectively, if we were to focus on spending within our own, the same way you have like the little Italies and little Asias, a little Arabias and places like that where they spend with their own and put back into their own community. If we were to do that, that allows us to have a certain level of power that will get us a seat at the table, right? And I'm always talking about a seat at the table because I'm talking about money talks. And when money talks, you'll have politicians, you'll have people who want to push an agenda who will actually sit down and listen to you. Now you can talk about the things that bother your community. You can talk about police reform. You can talk about discrimination. You can talk about the education within the community. And people that get behind that. Why? Because there's compensation that comes with you that they may need in the long run, right? Especially when it comes to votes and all of that stuff. So the truth of the matter is group economics is important. But what's more important within our community, as just as important as group economics in our community, is educating yourself, right?
100%.
So I've been reading the book, The Miseducation of the Negro, right? And the book has been a blessing to my life. It's been an eye opener to me. I tell you guys all the time, you know my slogan: 15 minutes a day. Read 15 minutes a day, you'll be 15 minutes smarter. And a good book is like a mirror. When you read it and you look at it, you're going to see yourself. You're going to see your faults. There's two type of peoples in the world. The one who sees it, feels the burn, closes the book. The other one who sees it, feels the burn, and continues to read. Because once you get past the burning of, dang, that's me, you get into the solution of how to fix how you've been, how you react to things. And so for me, I have been a miseducated Negro.
All of us.
And I can say that, but I say that with pride because I'm able to fix it, right? So one of the things that the author in the book says is that our education, the foundation of our education has been taught on somebody else's history, somebody else's heroes, somebody else's vision of life, right? And for us, we've been taught that our history started at slavery, right? That our history started at emancipation and segregation. But no, our history actually started in Africa, where there were empires of strong people. You have people like Mansa Musa, who is still on record to be the richest person who ever walked the earth. You understand what I'm saying? He shut down Egypt's economy by giving them gold, and it inflated everything, and it messed up their economy. This is somebody who was great. You talk about the Moorish people and how they conquered Spain for so many years. Some of these people were black. You understand what I'm saying? These were Africans. You come from royalty. You come from empires. You come from wealthy people. People who had knowledge of self. These are also our heroes. These are the people that we should be trying to idolize, like Mansa Musa. We should try to go to school, create a foundation for ourselves, and when we create a foundation for ourselves and we create wealth, we should be trying to create generational wealth, right? 100%. And if you know the history of Mansa Musa, you understand the importance of teaching the generational wealth to your children. Because Mansa Musa's son was not as savvy with money as his father was and lost his empire. You understand what I'm saying? That's a lot of money that man lost. But if we take that and we go to school and we build on top of that foundation, instead of the foundation of these heroes and these people that white America pushes onto us, we don't identify with them. We identify with the process, but we don't identify with the people looking like us or knowing the struggle that we come from. But if you take time to actually learn your history and put that on top of your learning and your training and all that, you'll have a different understanding of the community and your obligation to your people. Right? So now when you understand the obligation to your people, you understand how group economics works. You understand that now as a business owner, an entrepreneur, a person who has created a lane for myself, I have to come with the same quality that McDonald's has served the community for years. I have to come with the same quality that Foot Locker has served the community for years. There's no half-stepping. So you're not overcharging your people. You're not giving them a bad product. You have a standard that when people go to you, they know they're getting the same quality that they would from these white corporations. And once they do that, then you have an obligation that some of the money that you get goes back into buying books for schools, goes back into paving the streets. Because the problem is we have no ownership within our communities. And when people don't own anything or don't feel like they are represented within their community, they don't take pride in their community. So the community ends up breaking down. It looks bad. And there's weeds. There's trash. There's graffiti. But if you go...
Cook.
You understand what I'm saying?
Let them cook.
But if you if you go into a community where people actually are putting in the community, you're not going to see that. I live in the city of Rancho Cucamonga. If there's a little bit of a crack in the pavement, they shut down the whole street and repave it immediately. You understand what I'm saying? But expeditiously for sure. But coming up and living in San Bernardino, living in Rialto, remember when it rains? When it rains, the potholes is popping up everywhere. But you just got to swerve around. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's no ownership, there's no responsibility, there's no loyalty to the community. So for us to actually move forward after the protest, we actually have to get into a combined understanding of how we are moving forward as a group. And that group economics is one of the things that can push us forward. You got like my man who has his own website where he sells shirts and other merchandise and all of that stuff.
Right here.
If you like t-shirts and different graphic tees and all of that stuff, you spend money with him. He's going to give you quality. He's going to give you that stuff.
Group right
you understand what I'm saying? He's giving back to the community by giving you knowledge on some things that you may not know through the podcast. So this is giving back to the community by having people who are intellectually sound to be able to give you something that you may not have known. I give you books all the time. I have a book page on Facebook that will help educate people and give them Book My Life. If you go on Facebook and you can't find Book My Life, just add Book Entertainment Club and you'll see it. Book My Life. I'm giving books out. I'm giving knowledge out. I'm giving things out that's going to benefit us as a people.
And follow the podcast on Instagram, DSTM Podcast.
Yeah, don't shoot the messenger.
Don't shoot the messenger podcast.
So the truth for the matter is, there has to be more than just protesting. It has to be more than just protesting, and protesting is beneficial. It's your constitutional right. Understand us as an American citizen. When they try to make these people look like they're bad for being out and protesting, that is a lie, that is a misconception, that is a throw-off. Your constitutional right is the right to protest. But the point of a protest is to cause a mass attention. Cause mass attention. Go ahead.
Well, like when you look at it though, throughout the history, when Martin Luther King would do a peaceful protest, they had a problem with that.
Yes.
My man's was shot due to his protest.
Yes.
But a lot of times people was like, why don't you protest like Martin Luther King?
Yeah.
They had an issue with Malcolm X and his approach.
Yeah. And Malcolm X was about group economics.
You know what I'm saying?
If you don't know about Malcolm X, you go read up on Malcolm X.
They had a problem with him.
Yeah.
They had a problem with when Ali was trying to bring attention.
Yes.
They had a problem when what was my man's that won the first place at the Olympics and he cooked
Jesse Owens.
Jesse Owens. They had a problem with Kaepernick kneeling.
Yeah.
They had a problem with locking arms.
Yeah.
They're gonna always have a fucking problem. You don't see the connection? Like they're gonna always have a fucking problem. So it's like A protest is to cause disruption.
Yeah.
Like you thinking things going this way, and in your mind, this is normal. This is okay. But at once upon a time, slavery was okay.
Yes.
So it's like it's the
and people had a fit with you being free from slavery. There was a war that was fought because of it.
The whole Civil War, like really think about this. Put this into perspective. So a lot of like growing up, the history was taught between Spaniards and Christopher Columbuses and the Semites, or I can't think of the name accurately, but a lot of this information is not our information.
Mm-hmm.
It's not our history.
Yes.
I get it as far as America, but a lot of the American history during that time was inaccurate.
We were people before America.
As we know, Christopher Columbus did not discover America.
No.
So there's a lot of inaccurate information that was spreading. So like when we get out here and we start to know about the Madam C.J. Walkers and W.B. Du Bois and Malcolms and
the Tulsa, Oklahomas,
the Mansa Musas, the Moors. And like when we get to really understand and learn this stuff for ourselves, like honestly, put yourself put yourself in the shoes back in that time, and picture if we was getting this information back then, who would we be today?
Yeah.
Today, who will we be today?
Think about if our culture.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
think about if we went into slavery, but they allowed us to keep our culture and our language.
Mm-hmm.
The different identity we would have, the different cultural understanding, the different cultural respects we would have for each other, for our community.
Man.
We would have group economics because we will understand the importance that we are to each other. So what you have to understand is that we have been miseducated to think that one way is the only right way. Mm-hmm. And to challenge that thinking, oh, you're extreme.
They bombed the whole Tulsa, Oklahoma.
They burned it to the ground, killed down there. Everybody was in it. Think about it. Group economics is a threat to racist white America.
Because understand this. When you use group economics, and my man Derek Grace, he puts this, if you go follow him on IG, a lot of information. It might be untraditional in some way, but it's worth it. Yeah. So he preaches group economics for the most part.
Yeah.
So it's like we was to use group economics instead of going to these banks.
Yeah.
The same way when these Indians come over here, as far as Middle Easterns and the Koreans, when they open their donor shop and all this stuff,
and they keep this.
They keep it. Yeah. They keep on like
as they should.
As they should. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Like we as black people, what I noticed though is that we've been so conditioned that like if it's not introduced to us like very early, if you try to bring it to us around 10, 11, 12,
we think you trying to like trick us.
You know, like, bro, I don't want to do this shit.
Do you understand in the book, The Miseducation of the Negro, it even explains that, you know how when black people get together, right? Some people might have a problem with a bunch of black people together in unison, right? Oh, you guys are gathering. You guys are gathering. Do you understand that was a terminology used back during slavery and segregation times? That they didn't want you guys to gather. They didn't want you guys to be together. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Y'all become a little too strong.
You understand what I'm saying? So so that's why we even have the stigma today when too many black people get together. Hey, what you doing? But that goes back to then. Yeah. They don't want to see the unity.
Yeah.
They despise the unity because on the plantation, too many of you guys getting together, you might be plotting to kill us.
You know what I'm saying? But like a little sidetrack, but still same shit. Like the podcast with E.T. Secret to Success.
Yes.
I remember, if you're familiar with it, if you're not, there's a dude on there named Jamal King. He talks about real estate. And but he was speaking on like how like growing up, like black is kind of taught to be a negative connotation. Like black is dirty.
Yes.
Black is evil.
Yes.
White is pure.
Yes.
White is clean.
Yes.
The programming that goes on like from a young age till we get older.
Yeah.
We have to unlearn a lot of the things that we were taught.
And
2020, if you don't do nothing, like
Learn
start
something.
like unlearn and learn.
I'll piggyback off of what you're saying, because in the book, I'm trying to tell you guys, the book is a great book. It's called The Miseducation of the Negro.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about that. It says that even back in the day, after emancipation and segregation, when blacks was able to go to these white institutions, right?
Mm-hmm.
The medical students were going to school, and the teacher would teach these black students how inferior they are through medicine.
Mm-hmm.
They would tell them that you as a black person are susceptible to X, Y, and Z diseases.
Mm-hmm.
And because these diseases affect you differently than they affect white people, that's because your genetic makeup is inferior to ours, right? But they said the more that the students stayed in the class and they learned this miseducation of their inferiority of their immune system and how their body makeup is and all of these different things, they learned that white people had diseases that they're susceptible to.
Everybody.
Right?
Everybody.
But the difference is, during that teaching of them being susceptible to it, the white people were never taught as being inferior because of them being able to catch certain diseases that black people weren't. Mm-hmm. So the truth of the matter is, we have been taught that certain things about us is inferior. Mm-hmm. Certain things that we do is inferior. Not knowing business, black people, they don't do good business. They're inferior when it comes to business. No, these individuals who don't go to school and don't know. I tell people all the time, and this is not to be offensive, and this is not to shoot down anybody's dream, but there are workshops that you can go to. There are things that you can read and things that you can study to educate yourself on how to be a better businessman, how to be a better businesswoman. Me, I just went the college route. I have a degree in business administration. So I understand the little intricate things about how to be a business professional. But I urge people to go and get educated. Do not be scared. You don't have to go to a college to get information on how to be a businessman.
I'll tell you firsthand, like me being an entrepreneur, I run my own business. Yeah. I understand why he went to college. College isn't for everybody. Yeah. College is for some. Like it all depends on how you learn. Yeah. For me, I'm a trial and error type of person. Right. So I'd rather go read some books, watch a lot of different podcasts, watch videos and shit. Go to I'm YouTube University, cum laude. Yeah. I promise you, I know everything I learned is from YouTube. Yeah. But it's like regardless of how you get the information, get the information. Yeah, get the information. That's the important part. And that's 100% the important part, because once you get the information, you'll learn that your thinking is not inferior. Your understanding is not inferior. And I equate this to this, and I hope you guys understand it, and I hope you guys get it. When slaves came to America and they were put on the plantation, they were considered stupid and they were considered dumb. Why? Because they did not speak English. Not that they had a native tongue that they already spoke and a native understanding that they could already read. Because they did not know English, they were considered dumb. So what your understanding has to be is the lack of information does not make you inferior. Once you get the information, you can move in business the same way white people move in business. In agriculture, you can move the same way. It's having the understanding. So you're not inferior. But for years, we have been taught that we're inferior because we just can't do. They used to tell us that we couldn't play quarterback in the NFL because our brains weren't developed enough to be able to and that was not that long ago.
And that was not that long ago.
Like,
you understand what I'm saying?
We was really put, a lot of information was pushed on us. That is crazy that was not that long ago. We can't play,
we was in the elementary and middle school when that was a stigma.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just when you look at all the technology that's happened, from GPS to contributions to NASA to,
it was us.
It
was us.
You trying to tell us that we, come on, fam.
No, that's why I say you have to read The Miseducation of the Negro, because the title will make you think it's a miseducation. They don't know nothing. No, they're talking about educated black folk who have been taught on the wrong foundation and how to change what they've been taught, unlearn. I'm in school, almost done. I'm at the end of the road, right? But my major is in human resources, right? And in human resources, there's change culture. that you may come into contact with an organization that is just toxic and they need things to be changed or whatever. So you have change culture, and one of the two of the three key elements of change culture. There's a lot of little small intricate things within the change culture, but the three main foundational things of change culture is unchange, change, unfreeze, change, and refreeze.
Mm-hmm.
You have to change you have to unfreeze the thinking that you have been taught.
Mm-hmm.
And that's by introducing yourself to information that normally you don't research on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Once you get that true foundation, that true thinking, then you create the change.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Once you can create the change that's going to be more beneficial to you, then you refreeze it. Mm-hmm. Now the new standard is the new learning. So when we say unlearn, we need you to unfreeze, change, and refreeze your thinking of yourself.
And I phrase that differently because it's funny you said that because I had the same conversation with you.
Yeah.
But I had it in the terms of gang banging.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, like in California, a lot of gang banging.
Yeah.
So we grew up around it, whatever. Me, I never really participated, but I was affiliated with a lot of people that was involved. So me being on the outside looking in, even to this day, like people, I understand that people only know what they know. They don't know what they don't know.
Right.
They know what they know. They don't know what they don't know. Yeah. So if your mindset, all you knew was this gang banging culture, mm-hmm. There's literally people that condition their kids to be ready to gang bang. Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of ignorance that's being installed at a young age. What erases that is presenting something new. Mm-hmm. They're not getting the right exposure. If you're not exposed to something new, to a different way of thinking, beyond just the block, you're just going to think it's just the block. Yeah. That's what, ultimately, that's what Nipsey was trying to show people in the hood is there's more than just this block. You can travel the world. Yeah. Don't limit yourself to this way of thinking. Let me go hustle these bags off, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And shit, go post up, find a chick I can live off of. Yeah. That should not be your standard. Yeah. Trying to live off no female, trying to drive her car like baby boy. Yeah. That should not be the standard. You have to be exposed. So every time I talk to the homies that's still participating in this shit, I'm like, that's cool, man. Boom, boom, boom. Drop some seeds. I don't want to overwhelm them. Yeah. Because if you try to come off if you try to overwhelm them, they feel like you're preaching. Yeah, and you want to offend them. So it's drop some seeds in a way that they can comprehend it, and it's okay, shit. You know what? That's right. And I was rolling with the one of my cousins the other day, and he was thinking about moving back close to his hood. He was like, nah. My grandma was like, nah, don't move there. Move up the hill, because he up north right now. So he's like, nah, if you gonna move that way, or I ain't moving out there. If you move up the hill, I'll fuck with you. Yeah. So she didn't say that, but you get the gist of it. And I was telling him she right. If you come back to your city, you gonna find yourself in the midst of all this shit. And even around the age that we at, you gonna find yourself in the midst of it. You been in and out of jail. You don't want to go back. You got kids. Yeah. So it's fuck all that. Go up there so you don't be in the midst of all the drama. While the little homies doing all the shit, hitting you up, and then you just in the middle of some shit for bullshit. Expose yourself to something new. Learn something new, and understand that standard that you was always. Because this is the thing of Les Brown. He said, it's not that people aim too high and they miss. Mm-hmm. It's that they aim too low and they hit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's you got to get out of that mindset of just, this is the standard, and you continuously hit it. Yeah. Aim higher. Yeah. Even if you miss, you're still better than down here. 100%. You know what I'm saying? If you aiming for a million, you land at 500,000. You still on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Change your mindset. We gotta we gotta reprogram the way we think. So it's you said, the freeze or the unfreeze. It's the unfreeze, change, and refreeze. Refreeze. You gotta create that new standard for yourself. Mm-hmm. If your standard is always low right here, you always want to perform at that level. Yeah. If you raise your bar up here, and it's okay, I gotta perform at this, and keep on challenging yourself. Right. Because once you get to that level where you plateau, and it's just all right, this is it right now, and you just start to get content, it's you stop living. Yeah. the worst thing you can do is die while you're still alive.
Oh, talk about it.
That's the worst thing you can do. Is die while you're still alive.
Yeah.
You lose hope in yourself. You lose
Yeah.
hope in where you can go.
Yeah.
Keep on living. The living is the thing that keep us thriving, keep us moving, regardless if you have kids, if you don't, whatever the case is, keep on finding the thrill of life.
Yeah.
And keep on reaching for the stars. If you stop reaching, then that's when you die inside. And
Yeah.
at that point, what's living?
Yeah, no, and I agree with that 100%. You know, not to harp on everything, but just to add my last little Malcolm X
Mm-hmm.
talked about group economics. That was the biggest thing, and he said that the point of the group economics was so that we can create jobs that we did not have to go outside of our community to ask for.
Mm-hmm.
Group economics is our way to liberation.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't understand what group economics is, go ahead and research it, go ahead and read about it. And then, like I said, but collectively, we have to create one conscious mind moving forward that we all can agree on.
100%. That's been our struggle from way back when.
Yeah.
We can't collectively come together.
Yeah.
Like, regardless if it's idealistic standpoint or religious standpoint, like Malcolm said, leave that at the door.
Yeah. The bullet on the ballot.
Leave that at the door.
The bullet on the ballot. Go check out the bullet on the ballot and realize that you have to leave certain things at the door and you have to compromise for the greater good of your people.
100%.
Listen, don't feel no type of way because everybody else is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
They have miseducated us to think that us collectively come together is anti everybody else when they're already doing it. No, that is a misconception that they're giving. They want us to continue to spin willy-nilly, spin with no direction, spin with no recourse, because that means our dollar is powerful, but it's separate, it's spread out. But if our dollar become combined, we become powerful.
Even aside from that, like, you got those type of people, and then some people, they just like for history's sake, we never truly came together collectively as black folks.
No.
So when they start seeing us doing that, in their mind it's like, okay, we're condemning everybody else. When we say pro-black, we're not condemning other people. We're just saying that we want to see our people succeed just like everybody else.
Yes.
So when they see us coming together collectively, we're like, what y'all do? Like, why y'all saying pro-black? And they misunderstand a lot of information, like a lot of these things, even with Black Lives Matter and it's a lot of these things that get misconstrued.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm to the point where we got to be more direct, so it's no room for error.
Yeah.
If we become more direct and leave no room for error, it's like, like the killing of black people should not be happening.
Yes.
It's like, now, this is going to tell me either that you're just plain out racist, or you just understand. Like, it's like when you say Black Lives Matter, and it's not even to shoot that down.
Yeah.
It's like, for whatever reason, it don't click in white folks. Some white folks said what it means.
Yeah.
And it's like some other people that then you explain it, and they're like, oh, okay, I get it. But if you're saying like black folks and brown folks should not be getting shot down, period, they're like, oh, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And then it's like, when they say they don't agree, it's like, okay, I know exactly where you stand.
You have to understand that.
And draw the line in the sand, know where you stand.
But you have to understand, a lot of white people have been miseducated as well.
100%. 100%.
So when we say, oh, Black Lives Matter, they're like, oh, they're anti-us. No, saying Black Lives Matter doesn't mean that I'm anti-you. What we're saying is that, listen, there's a problem going on right now. There is something that is not equal going on right now that has been going on for generations, and we just want to bring attention to that. And if you're with that and you're with the cause and all of that stuff, which we see that you guys are. We see hella white people marching, and we ain't even out there no more. Yeah. They losing their lives over it, all of that stuff. And we appreciate all of that. Those are the people who have the right education. The ones who have been miseducated is the ones who still think that us becoming unified or us becoming independent is going to be some type of detriment to the community, going to be, oh, you're going to just give them all free things and all of that stuff.
They think we want revenge and we just want equality.
Well, and the reason why they think that we want revenge is because that's their thinking.
They know what was done that was wrong.
Yes,
even if they don't say it out loud, they know.
And inside of them, they would say, if that was me, I would want revenge.
You feel me? And that says a lot about your character.
Yes.
If that's your thinking.
Yes.
So is there any more you want to say?
No, I think that
was strong enough right there. Hit it right there.
Yeah.
I think that was it right there.
Yeah, man, that's it.
You know, so stay tuned to more content. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. If you see this on YouTube, if you see it on IG, spread the video, share it, download it, share it, whatever. We're going to change the format on how we put the information out there a little bit, but it's still going to be relevant to the cause.
Yeah.
Read 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes a day, you be 15 minutes smarter.
If you don't read, go watch a
documentary.
Enlightening podcast, documentary, whatever the case may be. Feed yourself some information.
Real information. I'll put it to you like this: with all of the nonsense that's going on, I was in the beginning when it all started. I felt a little burdened down for me. My emotions was all over the place. Mm-hmm. But I got back into reading 15 minutes a day every day. Mm-hmm. And what I learned is that my vibration went up to here. Mm-hmm. I no longer was vibrating at a low level. And when you vibrate at a low level, you're a little bit more sensitive to everything that's going on in the world, right? Mm-hmm. But when you are vibrating at a high level, you're reading intellectual things, you have an enlightened mind towards the world. So you're looking at it for a solution. You're not looking at it for, it's just all hell breaking loose. Yeah. So make sure that you guys stimulate your minds with the right things, because as long as you're feeding yourself with the right things, you'll be encouraged.
Even if you got to take because trust me, I know social media will bombard you with a lot of negative information, and it might just be stuff with police killings and fires and all that stuff. Like, I understand. That's why I've been posting less. Yeah. Because I'm like, all right, I'm digesting too much of this stuff. Let me step away so I can just focus on business and putting some more positive information in me, so I can stay grounded and stay ready for my people, or for the people. Period.
Most definitely.
You know. So, like I said, like, subscribe, share. Make sure you go check out the store, Simmons Corner. Yeah. Stay tuned for my man graduating. It's just big moves ahead. Yeah. So, until the next time, Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
Bang, 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 bang.
Salute.